What's up, everybody? Don't mind me. I was just, pulling up my pants and doing my muscle man dance because last night we finally got to see the Fiend on Monday Night Raw. We're going to break it down. We're going to get into Raw a little bit. But as always, follow us on all of our platforms. On Facebook, Wrestle Cave Podcast. On Twitter, Wrestle Cave. On Twitter, Wrestle_Cave. And on here, subscribe, hit like, comment, do all that fun stuff. Let's talk about last night, though. Let's get right into it. Bray Wyatt did come back. We had a fatal four-way for the women's number one contender spot. We had a 10-man battle royal for the Universal Championship number one contender. We had lots of other storylines keeping going. We had the 24/7 title shenanigans. So let's get right into it. We kicked it off. We kicked the show off with these two. Yes, we kicked the show off with Brock Lesnar, your new Universal Champion after Extreme Rules. You can go check out my review and recap of that I just dropped this morning. But yeah, Brock Lesnar after Extreme Rules is your Universal Champion. So he comes out with Heyman. Heyman basically says he's got a lot of stroke around here now. He pretty much is running things. And he says Brock is a guy that is hard to negotiate with, and he's not going to put up a fight unless it's worth it. So tonight we're going to have a 10-man battle royal to see who is going to be the number one contender for Brock Lesnar. Nothing else really to take out of that except that, the usual Paul Heyman stuff. As they were leaving, though, Ricochet came out. So he had kind of a little thing there, but Ricochet kind of went right by him. That would set up Ricochet and the Usos versus their Revival and Bobby Roode in another one of these 2 out of 3 falls matches. I don't know about you. I'm tired of them. They're just out of place. They're just there to, reset in between commercial breaks. That's fine. It just takes a lot out of me because I know we're going to get down to the third fall. So I know somebody's taking the first one. I know someone's taking the second one. And I know we're going to get down to the third one. And that's exactly what happened. We had the Usos and Ricochet take the first fall. We had Bobby Roode and Revival get the second fall. And then the third fall, we would see Ricochet hit the 630 for the win. After the match, though, we had AJ Styles and the Club come out. Ricochet dove right over the top rope onto them. They started to get beat down a little bit, or they started to beat down on everybody. Once everybody came in the fold, the Usos came in the fold, Revival, everybody. But it ended up being Ricochet once more getting laid out by the Club in the middle of the ring, and they're standing tall over him. Yes, your new United States champion, AJ Styles, and the Club took out Ricochet. What is it? The third week in a row, I think? Third or fourth week in a row. So the Club is fully established, and I think we're going to get a rematch of this either going into SummerSlam or at SummerSlam. I'd like to see him go at it one more time, but that is just me. Next up, we had the War Raiders. The War Raiders beat 2 nobodies once more. I'm not going to break it down because they did their moves that we've seen. Beat some more jobbers. We keep building them up. But good to see him on TV at least. Next up, we had Drew McIntyre taking on Cedric Alexander. This was set up by a little backstage thing that they showed a little earlier. So we had Drew pretty much beaten up on Cedric all throughout the match and really, really beaten up on him. At the end, it got really interesting. Drew had Cedric hanging over his shoulders like he's about to do his little throw thing. Cedric actually rolled through, sat down, and got the 1, 2, 3. So he got a roll-up victory over Drew, and Drew's face afterwards just looked shocked. Shocked, appalled, in awe, you name it. Drew got the loss here. I know a lot of people are complaining about this, but I like this because it's setting up. It was, why did we have Cedric come out last week as Gary Garbutt? This is why. We are going to build up maybe something with him and Drew, or maybe just to build Cedric up as we go along. And we're getting more character out of Drew, maybe a little bit of struggle, and we're going to see him hopefully snap and really live up to the name, the Scottish Psychopath, because he really hasn't thus far. So we'll see what happens down the road there, but I like the use of continuing the storyline from last week because I wasn't sure where it was going to go from there. Next up, we had a match that was announced beforehand. We had Finn Balor recently off his loss at Extreme Rules, which once again you can check out my review of that. He lost to Shinsuke Nakamura. He lost his IC championship. So he's taking on Samoa Joe. Both guys coming off losses from Extreme Rules. Both guys are hungry. Both guys want this win. Pretty decent match, decent enough. Pretty quick match. Surprisingly, Joe would win kind of out of nowhere with a kind of a back roll, basically, backslide on Finn Balor. So Finn would lose. But really the story of this was after the match, because after the match, what happened was this guy showed up. The Fiend, Finn Balor, was standing in the ring. The lights kind of started malfunctioning. One by one, they were going out until all the lights were out. Something was going on in the ring. And then the strobe lights were coming on, and we got this image right here of Bray Wyatt holding Finn and the Sister Abigail. He would eventually deliver the Sister Abigail and just stand there laughing. So we finally got to see Bray Wyatt on TV. What did you think of the debut? I thought it was a good spot. I was worried about how they were going to bring him in, if he was going to be Mr. Rogers or if he was going to be the Fiend. We saw he was the Fiend, and I got to tell you, I thought it was a really good debut for him. Really good spot. Making an impact, which is something you need to do if you're going to debut a character such as this. Does it hurt Finn? Maybe a little bit, because he just took 2 losses in a row and now he's getting this. But I think you're setting up yet another SummerSlam feud probably, because we only have 4 weeks to go. So there needs to be something going on here. Do we get the Demon and the Fiend at SummerSlam? That would be pretty cool. If you remember, we did get SummerSlam 2017. The Demon Balor did defeat Bray Wyatt. And then we were supposed to get these two again at TLC, but where Bray Wyatt was pretty much going to dress in drag and be Sister Abigail and take on the Demon. But that was when, if you remember, we had an outbreak of the mumps or the measles or something. So we ended up getting Finn Balor versus AJ Styles, which ended up being a good match. So we're getting this match with the reincarnated, reinvigorated, whole new character, Bray Wyatt, taking on maybe, possibly Finn Balor and the Demon Balor. We'll see. We got some weeks to build to this. And that's what I'm holding out hope for personally. We'll see what happens. Back to the rest of the show, we had Drake Maverick and his wife kind of had this thing going on throughout the show. They checked into a hotel. He brought the 24/7 championship, and after they leave to go check in the hotel, R-Truth is there. So we'll pick up on that a little bit later on. We had the Street Profits backstage hyping up the Fatal 4-Way and the 10-man Battle Royal, and they're kind of trying to pick who's going to win each match. Angelo Dawkins, if you remember last week, had a little thing with Nikki Cross, so he picks Nikki Cross to win the match even though she's not in it. So interesting to see if they do something with those two guys, or with Nikki and Angelo, because they're kind of doing a little something. Well, it'll be interesting to see them cross paths as we interweave them backstage, because right now we've seen them backstage kind of basically breaking down what's going on throughout the show and like keeping the audience in the loop. And the 10-man, they each picked Big E and Seth Rollins. So again, stay tuned for that, because we're going to get into that 10-man. This next part, though, we had Maria and Mike Kanellis backstage. This thing isn't really going over, I'm going to be honest with you, the whole baby thing. I'm hoping it goes somewhere where it is entertaining, but for right now, the crowd's not really into it. I'm in wait-and-see mode, but I'm giving it maybe 1-2 more weeks. But right now, it's kind of not doing anything. It's not hitting home with a lot of people. In this match, Maria said Mike's not man enough, so she was going to go to the ring and take on Zack Ryder. But Mike refused to let that happen, so Mike went out. And Mike lost in about 3 seconds. The bell rang. He got hit with a Rough Rider from Zack Ryder. That was the end of that. And then Maria basically said everything she's been saying for the past couple of weeks, that he's not man enough and that she should have been in the ring and she could have put up a better fight. Hell, she said her unborn child, not her unborn child could have put up a better fight than Mike did. I mean, I'm assuming the storyline is going to go one of two ways. We're going to get a baby daddy that's not Mike, or Maria's using this whole thing to kind of make Mike be more of a man and step up for her and her child, and then maybe he'll be this whole new wrestler. Those are the two ways I see it going. We'll see. We'll see if we even get there. But that's what happened this week in this ongoing saga of the Kanellises, the greatest love I've ever known. That's for sure. So the Kanellises were out. Next, we had a nice 6-man tag match. I like this. I like that they're putting teams in and letting them showcase whether they're in a feud or not. We had the Club, AJ, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows taking on the Lucha House Party. Yeah, you heard that right. And it wasn't a squash match. It wasn't a 5-minute match. They let them go through a commercial, and they actually had a pretty decent match, I would say. In the end, though, AJ would take Kalisto and apply the calf crusher. And even after Kalisto tapped out, AJ wasn't letting him go. AJ is full-on heel. I tweeted out, heel AJ is best for business. He has way more fun. When he's a babyface, he's real dry. He's real stale. Even his run with the WWE title with Samoa, it was good. He was putting on matches against Nakamura and all those guys. But I love heel AJ when he's having fun. When he's with his boys, they're beating people up. I like this run so far. I think we're going to get another AJ Ricochet match. That's just what I'm thinking as we go down the line, because they've already had a few pretty good matches, and if you give them one more to really steal the show, I think you're really going to see why these two guys are at the top of Monday Night Raw in that United States title division. I really like the Club getting back together. I'm holding out hope. I know I've said it a million times. I'm sure you guys are all wanting it too. We all want Finn Balor in there. Let's pray. Let's hope. I'm hoping maybe down the line we get a little Wyatt versus the Club action. We get the New Day versus the Club action. We get maybe another faction that they don't have. I want to see more of this because it gets more people on TV. It gets more people involved. And it brings everybody up. It makes people credible, gives them stuff to do. Kind of like what they're doing with Cedric Alexander. Giving him stuff to do, but also making him credible, getting a win over Drew there. The next one we had, we got to talk about this one. The women's fatal 4-way match. The crowd in this one really took over. I think the part that they went wrong was this went a long time. This was over a 20 minute match, over 20 minutes. The 4-way fatal 4-way elimination matchup, which is fine. Nothing wrong with any of that. Nothing wrong with any of the 4 competitors in this match. We had Natalya, we had Alexa Bliss, we had Naomi, and who do we have as the 4th? We had Carmella. Carmella really showed off in the beginning of this match. That was probably the only portion of the match that people were really involved in. When Carmella was super kicking everybody, she was doing the moonwalk. She had her Bronco Buster. She had the Carmella go round, as they called it. Once she got eliminated, though, I felt like that's when the crowd really died. There was a lot of rest holds, if they gave them 20 plus minutes, I mean, I don't know how much they thought they could do with it, but there was a lot here. The pace just was never really caught on. The beginning of the match was really good. They had a good pace going, but they could never keep up with that. And putting those commercials in between the eliminations where you have to reset after that takes away from the momentum. It took away from the momentum of this match. You had the crowd chant, CM Punk, Cena sucks, this is awful, all this stuff. Very disrespectful, yes. I could kind of agree. I'm not the type of person to cheer stuff like that out, but I found myself not paying attention through a good portion of this match. Natalya would win with the sharpshooter. Afterwards, though, the promo between her and Becky Lynch, by the way, Becky Lynch was at ringside throughout the whole match. Afterwards, the promo between Becky Lynch and Natalya was probably the best part. Natalya got right in her face, said she was going to pull the horseshoe out of Becky Lynch's ass and kick her ass. She said she's going to, what else did she say? Becky Lynch said something about she's better in war than in love. And what was the line with Natalya? I guess that's what, she said something like, I guess you're a terrible lover, bitch, or something like that. I thought that the promo was really good. I had a fire from Natalya, and it actually made me want to see this match, which I really didn't before. Never knew I wanted to, but on the mic they got me ready for it. So that's definitely going to be going into SummerSlam. Natalya in her home country of Canada. That's where SummerSlam is at, and she will be taking on Becky Lynch. So although the match overall is pretty long, it was okay. Crowd really got it. To really kind of took over that one. The next thing we got was Miz TV. Miz TV with Dolph Ziggler. I talked about Dolph in Extreme Rules. Dolph has been losing and losing and losing. Lost again in 2 seconds to Kevin Owens. So this, I guess we're getting a feud between Dolph and The Miz now. Dolph basically came out to tell Miz, like, Miz is pretending he's someone he's not. He's Mr. Hollywood, he's Mr. this, Mr. that, but he's from Cleveland. And then this is what gets me, right? So this whole thing is, oh, you're only, and then Dolph says, you only care about fame and fortune. And then he says, just like your wife. And then that's what makes Miz snap. Like, who cares? Yeah, they like fame and fortune. Is that supposed to piss them off? Like, isn't that the whole reason they got into this business to begin with in the WWE? I don't know. That for me, for starting a feud, is pretty stupid, I think. But whatever. I guess we're gonna get Miz and Dolph. I'm not spending any more time on this because both of them. I thought Miz was waiting for Shane McMahon. I thought, is that over? Is that still going, or is Kevin Owens kind of leaped over and took over that spot? I'm confused about some of this stuff. We'll get the answers, hopefully, going into the next few weeks. And then we get the conclusion of this 24/7 title shenanigans. We are in the hotel room. Drake Maverick's laying there. He's got the belt over him. He's basically just wearing underwear and the belt. He's waiting for Renee Michelle. Then all of a sudden she orders champagne and room service. So room service comes in. They're standing there. He's waiting. It was pretty funny, actually. He's like going, come on, little guy, like basically trying to keep it up, as they say, because they just want to consummate the marriage. That's all he wants to do is consummate the marriage. But the guy bringing in the room service takes off his shirt, and he has a referee shirt on underneath. So Drake's like, come on, we got to get out of here. He's looking around for somebody. And all of a sudden, R-Truth comes out of nowhere. Does get one fall, a 2 count, kicks out. I was like, oh, finally, someone didn't get pinned on the first try. Because I'm tired. I want some moves a little bit, you know. But on the second attempt, we would get a victory from R-Truth, and he's got his baby back, and he hightails it out of there. So rolling into SmackDown tonight, we got R-Truth back as the 24/7 champion. I think this is his 8th run now, probably like his 8th run. I don't know. But the final match of the night, we had a 10-man battle royal for the number 1 contender for the Universal Championship. All these guys, as you see over here, we had Baron Corbin, we had Braun Strowman, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Cesaro, Sami Zayn, Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns, Big E, and Seth Rollins. Pretty good overall. Battle Royals are what they are. They can be fun. This one was alright for what it was. But the final 4, let's break down right to the final 4. We had Braun Strowman, we had Roman Reigns, and we had Seth Rollins. And outside the ring, which we didn't see, would be Randy Orton. But Roman and Braun are tied up in the ropes trying to eliminate each other. And then Seth dumps both of them over the top rope. So Seth thinks he's the last one left. Little does he know, Randy Orton is right behind him. So they go at it for a little bit, fighting back and forth. Randy tries to eliminate Seth. Seth holds on. They fight again for a little bit. Finally, Seth is able to eliminate Randy Orton. On the outside this whole time, Brock and Heyman were at the top of the stage. So your winner, Seth Rollins, will be taking on Brock Lesnar once again for the Universal Championship, a WrestleMania rematch. But at least he earned it in the match. He didn't have to just invoke rematch clause, which we know doesn't exist, even though people keep getting them. Lacey, Baron. But anyway, what I'm saying is we got Seth Rollins taking on the Beast once more. I hope this puts an end to this feud, this whole thing. We'll see where it goes from here. I know a lot happened tonight. We got the Fiend back. Seth is number 1 contender. Natalia's number 1 contender. AJ once again beat down Ricochet. The Fiend beat down Finn. We're just getting a lot of setup here as we go into SummerSlam, which is just around the corner. On SmackDown tonight, I think the only thing that they have previewed for SmackDown, I think, is that Shane will be hosting a town hall meeting. At least as I let this video out, that is the only thing that they have going on right now, that Shane will be holding a town hall meeting and letting all the superstars air their grievances with him. So I guess that's what we're getting tonight. We'll see. I probably expect Kevin Owens to come and ruin that whole party. But we'll see. We'll see what happens tonight. I'm coming off a good Extreme Rules show, as I said. Pretty damn good Extreme Rules show. The WWE's best pay-per-view of the year, I think. So go check out. I have a review of that. I have a review of AEW Fight for the Fallen. And I will be back. I don't know. I'll be back for SmackDown and probably NXT maybe Thursday. I don't know if I'll come back tomorrow. I did SmackDown and NXT together. Maybe I'll do that again take up a little bit more time and only do one video instead of two. We'll see. But as always, go down here, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You're already on our YouTube, so just go hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notify bell. Check out all of our interviews across Spotify and all Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, everything. Check out Ace's interview with JB Toys, world record holder, collector. That's all I got for you right now. I'm going to be probably towards the end of the week releasing a review of the first week of the G1 Climax, which has been phenomenal. So I will definitely be having that towards the end of the week to see what you guys are thinking of that. But that's it for today. And as always, just keep watching, hit like, hit subscribe, and comment below. See ya. Ooh, let me put that.